if you really want to get into specifics about the map,
IRT.
Yeah, it was like that.
the red is the IRT subway. Okay, guys? The blue are the original elevated railroads that were around before any of the subways. The IRT came into possession of these L's, but they wanted to expand anyway. For instance, this L, this is actually subway. This L stopped right there. When the IRT built this elevated, they connected that to there. After this L was destroyed, these two stations served as a shuttle. They ran out of business and their tracks were removed. If you walk around there, you can see the old abandoned stations, these two. Let's see now. This entire L, the 8th Avenue, which then became the 9th Avenue, Suicide Curve, they call it because two very sharp 90-degree curves, very high above the ground. And these trains would go over them not too fast, not too slow. Okay, it's pretty scary. Okay, the 6th Avenue L, there's the 9th Avenue, 6th Avenue, 3rd Avenue, and 2nd Avenue L, all terminated at South Ferry. That little cul-de-sac you go through at South Ferry, big open space, look up, that's where it was. Giant terminal just above the surface.
Oh.
Okay. The original 2nd Avenue L did not go through here. That's something else called a dual contracts. They connected, let's see now. Here's the 3rd Avenue L, up in Bronx. Okay? The IRT built their own L and connected it with the older 3rd Avenue. Here's where the L's originally stopped, here and there. IRT expanded it and connected it through there.
Does a dotted line mean?
Yes, it's both subway and elevated.
That's weird.
Now, all these L's were knocked down, leaving the Queensboro Bridge useless, that railroad part. Queensboro Plaza was twice the size it was back then it is today. What happened is the IRT and the B&T got together to form a dual contract. And they built the Queensboro Bridge and both of these elevated lines. The IRT subway, that's the current day 7 line, had access to both of these. The B&T had access to both of these. And then the 2nd Avenue L had access to both of these. Now, they restricted it. Only the 7 line runs in the Flushing L, and only the BRTs N, Q, or W, now terminated, are on the Astoria L. This is the original IRT subway. The current day 4, 5, current day 2 and 3. 2 and 3 more. Yeah. And see, this is only an IRT map.
At that time,
the IRT
and BMT was different.
The IRT railroads are all the number lines. The B&T railroads are the letter lines from J to Z. Okay. The IND lines are letter lines from A to
I.
G.
They could use that, don't
all
they?
the alphabet letters.
Obviously not. They use A through G and then they just stop.
These use 2 letters that time.
That's another thing when we get to it.
The EE and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go move on. We don't have a lot of time left.
What time is it? Oh, it's only 3. We
I would tell you. Yeah.
Let's get on more of these trains right now. Let's get on 30.
Now, look closely here. You mind standing up?
Sorry.
Let's see now. B&T is blue lines, the IND is red lines, RT is black. They look very similar, but I'll tell the difference. The IND line, here we go. It's red. This is the current day B&D. This is the current day A and C. They came down here. This is West 4th. Here's where the B&D go to 6th Avenue. Meet over there. Here's where the E and F.
That comes before.
Right. Would run through here. Now this is before they made the express track for the E and F. So they came through here, ran through Queens.
I remember when they were building the express track.
Now the F line that runs there through today did not exist.
Obviously.
So this this doesn't even stop by Roosevelt Avenue. This is where the E runs through today. It runs going to 8th Avenue. Hold on a minute. And Let's see now, West 4th, it's spread off. World Trade Center, then called something else. Here's where the A and C run through and go on to the Fulton Avenue line, which was fully completed. Here's the G, current day G, and the G train.
Down, baby.
It stops at Smith 9th Street. And then here's where the F would stop right here, but they bought the rest of the Culver line from the BMT, cut it off, and that's what they use.
That's why they'll stop there.
That's why. Now, what they wanted to do, exactly.
Yeah.
What the 2nd Avenue subway was supposed to be.
2nd Avenue was right here.
I know. Yes. It would start here. It would have started. This map is not to scale.
Yeah, obviously.
It would have started on the very edge of Bronx, come down 2nd Avenue. It would connect into the B&T line right here, and it would connect into the the Queensboro Bridge to Queensboro Plaza, and go down, and then it would turn, go through the river, and connect to Court Street, which wasn't even built yet. This very station was supposed to be part of the 2nd Avenue subway. Now they're building that today.
But they're not going to run it through Court.
They're not going to run it through the window, through the river, and connect it to this station.
They're running it along the queue.
No, because they don't need they don't need big systems anymore. That's just part of it. The rest of it, let's see, they were going to run this from they're going to run connect from World Trade Center through Manhattan, cross the river, and they're going to run these 2 inner tracks from 2nd Avenue, from the F line, cross the river. Both those lines would join and stop at a station above Broadway on the G line. The upper level of Broadway is a 6-track, 3-platform, unfinished shell of a station called...
Like Hoyt.
No, like Roosevelt Avenue. Meant for the 2nd system, it was going to be named South 4th Street. From there, it would join with the line that the upper level of Roosevelt Avenue, never used, would have connected to, and
they would have had another Brooklyn line.
They would, let's see where it is. They would have connected to this viaduct that was part of the Long Island Railroad, along with the A line, and go to Rockaway Park. Now this viaduct, more history, belonged to the Long Island Railroad. Now when the Brooklyn L's are built, they're not shown here. The Long Island Railroad, instead of going straight down to Rockaway like it used to, it would go up this viaduct, past the aqueduct, past what would be the airport today, hook onto, let's see if I can picture it here. It would have been here, go up there. It would have connected here.
I gotta have this note here. 6th Avenue is officially called Avenue of America. This
section of the A line is the original BMT L, the Fulton L, before the IND replaced it. So it would have connected here, and then went to the rest of the Fulton L, connected to the Canarsie, and then go on to the Broadway L in Brooklyn, all the way down to Chambers Street.
They had some really strange ideas back then.
Yeah, that was the Long Island Railroad. When, instead, they were supposed to make their own tunnel to channel straight through to Chambers Street. Because when you go to Chambers Street, part of the station is extra high, and part of it's low. That low part would be where the upper level, where Long Island Railroad transit is supposed to park. Now, again, the BMT was going out of business. The IND saw the opportunity. Not only did they buy the Culver line from them and cut it off, but they bought this section of the L, of the BMT's L, and let the rest of it die. On purpose.
Did they buy the BMT or
just part of it.
Okay.
Part of it.
The 8th Avenue line runs right along Fulton Avenue, where the original L, that this is a section of, ran right along. It was competition. So the BMT lost, they had to tear down the L. They didn't have money to support it. Same thing here. there was a 6th Avenue L. I&D made a 6th Avenue subway. That's business away from that. So it's always competition. There are even little tricks that the I&D did to stop the IRT from extending the 7 line. 42nd Street, they built a lower level, which really has no use, just to stop the IRT from extending. Little tricks like that.
And that became the shuttle.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like the late 50s.
No. There was a...
No, the shuttle isn't lower level.
Right. That lower level station that is now being cut through was filmed in Ghost, where Patrick Swayze met the other ghost, and the trains are going back and forth. That was the level that they used for filming, because it was abandoned. Also, there's tracks underneath this, a lower level, that they also used in another movie. The main character was stranded in a train of R10s that stopped there.
Wow.
They lead to express tracks going out through here and then connecting back in, but they're not used. The subway has so much tracks that they don't use.
They don't even use for storage?
Some of them do. Like some right here, they cut that off. There's so much history, I'd talk my face off, but when we get to a current day subway map, I'll go through the rest of that history. Now I'm just going to focus on the cars.
Yes. Newer map.
1967, when all 3 railroads came together, came to NYCTA, New York City Transit Authority.
What made them come together in the first place?
They all went bankrupt.
All 3 of them?
They all went bankrupt.
City bought them?
And the city bought them all. So it's now a public company, for the most part. It could still be private. I'm not too sure.
It's public.
This is when they started, in 1967, they started giving lines, letters and numbers. The double letters are B division, the bigger cars.
Yes.
Lines that are local, like the GG. It stops at every stop. The LL stops at every stop. If the line is a single letter, it's express. Okay? And the numbers, well, there's numbers, because the A division only has so many lines.
Yeah, the A train.
And
yeah.
Even till today.
A still goes both ways.
Oh my.
And I want to say 1970s, mid-70s. Let's see, no, in 79 it's got double letters. So in the early 80s, they stopped that, and each line has a single letter to it. Also, here, every line has its own individual color. So it's really confusing and the maps get big. In the 80s, along with making sure each line only had one letter to it, all bunches of lines that run on the same main line,
put them right next to each
give them
other.
the same color. For example, the 8th Avenue, I&D 8th Avenue line is blue. So every line that branches off of the ACE are blue. The BMT Broadway line, which runs through here, is yellow. So every line that branches off NQR and the former W is yellow. The I&D 6th Avenue line runs through here, orange. Every branch, DDFB. And the current day M.
Yes.
The L is gray because it's all by itself. G is green. 7 is purple. Everything. The IRT West End line is red. The IRT East Side line is green, dark green. And what am I missing? The BMT Nassau Street line is brown. So every JM, Z, brown.
Well, the M's gone now. I mean, it's different.
Gosh. What color is the new one going to be, the 2nd Avenue subway?
It's going to be light blue.
Light blue, baby blue.
Yeah.
T.
Yeah, the T.
That sucks, man.
I don't think they should do that because, as history can show right here, the T ran...
T runs on the...
125th to Seaport, future reference.
It runs along the Q to some point. It runs
the T is not here.
Avenue.
I remember in some historic map, the T ran through the BMT West End line, ran alongside with the V and the M, and the T, I believe it started somewhere around here.
Well, it's not. They're not doing that anymore. They're completely changing it.
It would be much easier to tailor the lines of today if you follow the track. I looked at the track maps, and each line is supposed to move a certain way.
Yeah.
For instance, the 2 used to terminate New Lots Avenue. The 3 terminated Flatbush. That's supposed to do that. If you look at the track maps, it would be easier for the 2 to continue straight on and the 3 to turn out. But since the 2 was too long, the 3 is too short, they switched it around. The 3, nowadays, just speeds right on through, no problem. Now, since the track work is so complicated,
they always have to switch.
The 2 has to slow to a crawl and switch onto
turn.
one line and switch right back off. I don't know why, but they'd rather do that. If they just follow the track work, then this station could be a terminal. Because at Schermerhorn,
those 3rd tracks,
there's 4 tracks from the IND Fulton and on the outer,
and the
inner 2 tracks are the IND Crosstown. The very outer local tracks that the C uses actually continues onto this station.
Into this station, yeah.
So let's say the H, which used to run from here to here, you could run the H from the current day Rockaway Place, which would get rid of the A rush hour, through the local tracks and terminate it at this station.
But then again, they're already using it as a museum, so...
Exactly, so...
You know.
The things they could do with this system if they only realize what they have.
They need to how to use it.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah. These car styles are very old. They're part of the 1939 IND World's Fair Station. If you come over here, the subway line. This is the IND Grand Concourse line, or Queens Boulevard, my bad. Right about here, trains would switch down to a lower level and go express, skip this station, and then turn up north, loop back around through Flushing Park, and run all the way up to Willis Point Chase Stadium.
Oh.
Okay? That was part of the proposed IND second system. So they actually built that. Just like they actually built this station that we're in. Yeah. After 1939, for some odd reason, they closed it off, and they tore that station down.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Question. Is there a tunnel that goes to Staten Island?
No, but the IND did propose a tunnel branching off of the lower level of Church Avenue through Brooklyn onto Staten Island and then spreading 2 ways. That was also part of their proposed second system that never happened. In the mid-1930s, during the Great Depression, they ran out of money. Everybody ran out of money.
So the depression hadn't happened. All 5 boroughs would be connected by the subway.
Exactly. And oh my gosh, IND wanted to stretch this to LaGuardia, stretch this out there, stretch.
Yeah, the F line going all the way to I forget.
Line out there.
New Hyde Park. Yeah.
I already went to the 2 lines that was combined from here. Part of 2nd Avenue was combined to Court Street.
This C would have been like in Fort Lee.
They're trying to stretch the 7 and 7
all the way to New Jersey. Yeah.
It would have been like C would have been like that, or like to Fort Lee.
I don't agree with that because if they're going to take these out, then they should extend the 5 to every one of them.
Yeah, now the colors make sense.
The thing is, NCAA doesn't follow their own rules, their own standards. Like,
I think you're actually right.
Yes here, no there, yes to this, no for that. I don't know.
I think you're actually right, because when VVE, the last line to come out, the newest line to come out is the F, and they actually have a fictional extension all the way to New Hyde Park included, so.
Okay. We gotta go. End the tour.
Alright.